Alright. So, previously, the group of you pushed into the Pinwood after what you suspected were arsonists that had burned down Aeolus's home.
Yeah.
The footsteps, the trail of footsteps went cold, but you found carved sigils upon tree trunks, spaced 15-20 feet apart or so. Unlike most blemishes upon the trunks of trees within the Pinwood, these were not oozing sap and healing over like they normally do. You follow this trail long into the night before you were forced to rest. During this time, you were surprised by Frohen Tea Dance, the halfling physician employed by Mayor Jadel to look after her daughter Nara. Frohen seemed to be wanting to say something but unable to speak directly about it, and tried to work in a roundabout way towards what might have been what it sounded like a pregnancy. As the group of you narrowed down your guesses, Frohen expired under mysterious circumstances. Did he fell over, dead? You all, knowing that your only course of action currently was to rest rather than try to find your trail back in the night, laid back down. As morning came, Frowen's body had been severely decomposed, and the trail home was gone. Only way in was forward. You followed this path for about an hour, 2 hours, before coming to a cliff. A cliff that had been the star of not one, not two, but three of Willum's dreams thus far. And while taking a glance at the cliff, the keen-eyed amongst you spotted there was a small crack in the stone face, facing out to sea, that seemed like it went deeper, and iron rings were hammered into the stonework along a very narrow ledge. You strung a rope along this ledge with a few very lucky rolls, and piled into the crevice in the stone here, and found that it sloped downwards sharply, about 45 degrees, about 30 feet downwards to a stone door with two overlaid circles, upright, like a Venn diagram turned upright, carved onto a stone door. One of these doors was ajar. You pushed in and found supplies for a month or two's set of individuals within one room. A long since sprung and never reset dart trap, and corridors of worked stone. Pushed down one corridor and set off a magic mouth trap, and fought off the gelatinous cube that had dropped from the ceiling at the sound of words none of you recognized. You triggered a floor plate that caused several doors to fall open, allowing a small collection of reanimated corpses to try to attack you, while acidic acidic smoke poured down from the stairs behind you. You found safety, though, a small reprieve, a quarters, barracks style room. 6 beds and another set of crates of supplies. These ones had been broken into by this point and begun to be used recently. There was the smell of food in the air. You rested here for some time and then continued down the last corridor, the one that had previously been flanked by the enclaves that held the undead. Within this final chamber, you found half-elven man and his twin sister in a archer's nest, ready for you. You fought. Did well against them. Midway through this fight, the group of you heard the grinding of stone as a secret passageway opened. And striding forth from the corridor was Mayor Tidell. She conjured a thin, narrow katana-style sword from thin air, and knew exactly how to use it. The group of you did prevail at what was very nearly significant cost. As you sat there, resting, trying to recover, taking in what was happening, you all noticed and saw firsthand the same rapid decomposition that seemed to have beset Fro and T-Dance the night before, happening to Mayor Tidell. By the time the group of you had long rested, you find nothing but brittle bones that cracked to dust at the touch. You did find a good number of coin upon her, along with the half-elven woman's magical short bow. There was an altar in this room as well. An altar that had a number of ritualistic things upon it. One of which was a large crystal that had what Helleras identified as orcish writing within it. Not upon any surface of it, but in a spiderweb pattern within the crystal itself. And a pile of salt that was covering and desiccating a small humanoid heart. The group of you have returned to the quarters within this this area. You've rested. It's at this point close to midnight. We've recovered. And this is where we're picking up, as you all come to after the rest.
How small was the humanoid heart? Could it have been from a newborn baby?
Make me a medicine check. Yeah, it could have been.
Okay.
As you think of one of the dreams that Willum described.
I would wonder if any of the food that Mayor Tidell fed us before could have marked us or done something to us. But that would be probably for another time. But
give me a history check.
history check? Because
Yeah.
I'm just not sure about her anymore.
The only food that you recall eating from Tadel herself was this stew
A
that was
stew, yeah.
provided to the group of you and members of Blackburn Watch, and Stormsurge and herself. After you had assisted in giving the recruits a little bit of a training.
Okay. And that was how many days ago?
At this
A week?
point, you had 2 days out, 2 days there, 2 days back. Probably close to a bit shy of a week, a bit shy of a 10-day.
Okay. That'd be a great way to get rid of a body. Sure. Okay.
It also
So-
begs the question who's also in this whole charade.
Right.
Can't
Right.
only be the mayor, she must have had some helpers or underlings or whatever. I mean,
So,
we can't even
Our
trust the
Veer-
Blackburn Watch now.
Arveer,
Nobody's-
Wrath Stormsurge.
yeah, of that thinking,
Yes.
we
I mean,
need
Avir was always
not
weird.
trust Storm Surge.
Well, Arveer was a dragonborn too, or yeah. So that's like, I kind of expected him to be weird, but and the
Well,
doctor was probably trying to tell us, warn us something.
yeah,
Yeah, she was trying to point us in the direction.
yeah.
I'm curious if the mayor was the figure that I had seen in the cloak, or if it was someone else. If maybe the mayor is not the head honcho, but the underling themselves.
It could be.
Yeah.
So, before we arrive back to Elderthorn, we need to think about this. We do
Yeah.
not mention us fighting the mayor. I will have her ring on me and let me take care of that detail.
Okay.
My plan is to just straightforward. We found two half elves that had stated they were hired to kill us. We dealt with them, and among the spoils, we found the mayor's ring.
And we don't mention the part with all the rituals and, I don't know, dead bodies we found.
We-
And body parts.
They,
And
I imagine, if we were to drag the mayor or the ritual into this, her daughter will face something. And she's already lost Lander, and now she's lost her mom. Granted, that is her mom.
Yeah, speaking of, if that even was her real mom. I mean,
And-
how long has she been the mayor? For a few years or just recent?
Give me a history check, all of you.
do we know she's even still alive?
Oh no. Well, the person that we fought, Willum sort of cut her head off.
Yeah.
So, Tadell's been in the office of the mayoral for the better part of about 6 years now. Since before some of you, those of you who did your time with Blackburn Watch, she was in that role prior. She's the mainstay of the community.
So, question: when did you start to get weird, or Maybe something approached her and offered her power. I mean, we've seen what's been done to the pinwood and the animals and deer there.
Right.
I mean, it must be a greater entity at work. I mean, she just can't get that powerful in just a few months.
Hmm.
And she was very capable, to say the least. I mean, making me running against the wall twice? That bitch.
You know, I had questions about that, but I was severely loopy
Don't bother.
from all the blood loss.
Yes. I mean, it still hurts, and he scratches his forehead, which is still bloodied. Well, let's explore these ruins or whatever. If he's some more, or maybe find some clues.
Yeah, looking for clues, heavily armed and paranoid as hell. Don't want to be surprised again. At this point, it could be anybody, anytime, anywhere, doing anything. So I wouldn't trust a soul I would meet at this point. And how do we know we're going to get back? Just along the cliff?
That's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
Especially dragging the twins with us.
Yeah. Who didn't rot?
And twins did not.
Right.
Just the
Okay.
mayor.
Siegfried pull out his tent again? Or we could
There-
suggest it.
There is about a 6-foot gap between the cliff and the closest O-ring.
Mm.
So if
Well,
Siegfried is able to transform again and wrap the bodies up in spider silk and walk them up,
I'll say I can't turn into something that big, but I can turn into something and get up and then like hang a rope down.
I mean, I did hack off the arm of the male half-elf with his burned-in sigil.
Mm-hmm. The sigil on his the back of his hand.
Maybe that suffices as a proof. I don't know. Do you
Seems
really
to
wanna?
me that
Do you really wanna bring both bodies back to Elderthorn?
I do.
it seems to me that there's probably an easier way to get in and out of there than the way that we went, or Tadell would not have been there.
So
I mean, she came out of a secret room. There must be something back
yeah,
there.
the
Yeah.
the group of you did investigate that room. There is a circle of what you've identified as a circle of teleportation that the mayor had used.
Oh, okay.
Likely.
And are any of you magic casters? Can you? I've never seen one work.
Well, me neither. I can smash it, but not use it.
Another spot that you know is the half-elven woman did try to escape down a grate that was behind the altar.
Right, and that was 3 foot in
Yeah, about a 3-foot square. Yeah, narrow.
So we could fit there, but that would literally mean one at a time, and Aeolus will look to Hellerest and to Siegfried. The both of you would be squeezing.
What about Dunnan? He puts down a lot of beers. Have you seen that gut?
Well, I'm compact, not fat.
Have you seen how much damage he fucking did to that wall?
Yeah, it's scared now of me.
We could toss Dunnan.
Don't you try that. I'll be fine. Tossing that dwarf, that old joke. Haha.
Ha ha ha. Just trying to keep it light, folks.
Well, I mean, I would really prefer to go down that grate. Not gonna like going back via the cliff.
Well, then, let's send someone to investigate that.
Well, we've got the small cat here. Right, Willem?
Yeah.
I don't like holes, but I guess I could go.
I'll be right behind you.
That doesn't sound any better.
Was
I
it
have
meant
your
to sound
back.
better?
Willum.
Okay,
What-
on the count of
what-
3. Wait, what?
Maybe Siegfried can transform into something small. Go take a look.
I could try, yeah.
You're gassed out or good to go?
The group of you rested, I believe.
Oh.
So, yeah,
Yes, we're all rested.
he has his wild shapes back. So, Siegfried will go down. 5 minutes pass. Stretches out to 10 minutes.
Oh no, he's dead, guys.
About 15 minutes pass. Before Siegfried pops his head back up the hole. Alright, so good news, I didn't get stuck. It sort of. This is probably the narrowest it is, so we might be able to get the bodies down. There's a series of caverns and ladders and supply crates. It opens up onto the ocean down below. There's a boat that's not a boat, like a rowboat, tethered in like a cave area.
Does
That-
it fit all of us?
It might.
Even with the 2 additional bodies? I know,
It
it's a
is
long
worth a
stretch.
We may be able to find something else down there.
Probably, but do we really want to find more? I mean, I've seen enough down here.
There's no buddy down there. It just gets damp pretty quickly.
Yay, Dylan's here.
Ah, perfect.
Well, if we worked this far and we've taken this much out, we need to. I would like to finish what we started, and Aeolus will ask Siegfried to step out, and Aeolus will start and will drag one of the bodies behind him.
Okay. Which body are you taking?
I'll take the brother.
Okay. Sounds good. You sort of hoist him for a moment. It's a little bit untenable in this first section, but after Siegfried had investigated it, he was accurate. It does sort of open up. There's a few chutes where like a very steep incline of stone. Some areas where there's sort of a ladder cut into parts of the stonework. Other sections where there's a vertical rope and a very steep ladder that runs up and down it. It is difficult work. Starting to work this body all the way down. I'd like to give me 2 athletics checks, please.
Okay, doke. Before I started this, I would have quaffed my mutagen.
Okay.
So
Yeah, pretty good. It's manageable. After about 10 minutes of travel with this body, down, you definitely have some very thick half-elven blood on some parts of your garments. You'll manage. But there is a large chamber that sort of slopes very gently downwards, and about 80 feet away from you, you can. There's the sloshing of the dark sea upon the stone, and that opens out to the night. Now, along one side of this area, you see a decent-sized longboat. Looks like one that would be used to maybe evacuate a ship. You usually can carry up to about 12 people, and it's tethered up high away from the tidal water.
Okay. All right. Aeolus will turn and he'll just wait for everyone else, hoping that they follow, and if not,
Well, on second thought, I think I prefer the cliff. I mean, I'm pretty heavy. I mean, what if we sink?
Hellerast will just push him in.
Ah, boy. I'm Moratin spirit.
One by one, the group of you follow this winding, twisting passageway down, and find the smoothed by tide and wind of years cavern. It's gently sloping into the water, and this longboat here. Did someone else take the second body?
Yeah, I could take the second body.
Alright, you bring the second body down.
Yeah.
Now, Tadell's garment, the dress she wore, did that also come, or are you leaving it behind?
we
And I
should
was-
probably grab it.
Yeah.
I would want to grab her rapier sword.
Okay.
I think Aeolus already put that away.
Oh, did
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
I-
She had a
I-
katana. She had her ring. She had coinage, which was put in the chat for party loot.
Yep,
Um,
and it was messaged how much everyone would get, and it's also in the party loot as well.
Okay.
And the
Sorry, go ahead.
great sword and the half elfin size half blade. The brother.
There's the how much coin you got, Elrast.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and then the great sword from the brother, the bow, the magical bow from the sister. Yeah. Okay. Here's the details on the bow, Elrast.
Okay. Mhm. Oh, nice. And who has that?
You.
I think it's
I
you.
do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Cool. That's awesome.
All right. What's the group you doing?
Well, start rowing, I guess.
Start rolling.
Yeah. You unhook the boat. It's heavy. And sort of falls down onto the stone for a moment. You worried it might have cracked a little bit. Nah, it's secure. And you throw the bodies in and push it towards the water. The grinding of the wood upon stone. echoes throughout the cavern for a moment before you hear the sloshing of the water starting to hit the underside of the far end of the rowboat. You'll give it one final strong push and hop in. And start rowing to where? Back along the coast?
Guess
That's I
eastward.
see. Well, you're east of Elderthorn right now. You need to row west if you want to try and
Oh
get
yeah,
there.
then west.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always mix them up.
I will go into starry form,
Okay.
and then also do enhance ability on myself as well. Owl's wisdom.
Okay. So you have advantage, and you have a minimum of 10.
Yeah.
What are you
And
doing,
then I will-
Hellrast?
Trying to add that bow into my,
Oh.
but it's not clickable for me.
You click on the little gear.
Click on the little gear, and it's not.
Nope.
Nope.
Stop.
What am I doing? Am I just like shooting
You're
weapons everywhere?
You're just at it. You're just putting
Oh
the
my god!
weapon proficiency in the chat.
What the fuck? Okay.
So it's a short bow. So, firstly, because you're proficient. So just drag and drop a short bow onto your sheet. So now there's a short bow there.
Okay.
And then, so that'll be the basic short bow. And then
The magic missile.
spellfire short bow. There's no attack roll. It's 1d4 plus 1. Nothing. And that's force damage. And then if you click that, yeah, so spellfire short bow.
Okay.
So, and then it's that times the number of missiles that you get.
Okay.
And then just use the handout and copy and paste the text into one of your attunement slots because it does require attunement. So
Okay.
I just opened one of them for you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so Siegfried, you're casting Enhance ability for Wisdom, and then you're doing your starry form. Is it Dragon?
Yep,
Where
dragon.
you have a minimum on the roll?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a survival check, please, with advantage. Fantastic. All right. So, scaling your expectations. You know a bit about the waters surrounding Droucia, especially the fishing waters of Elderthorn. About how long you traveled, and the position of the stars. You are what you expect along the coast, maybe 50 miles from the docks of Elderthorn. Because you have to go around a small peninsula that extends about a few miles into, maybe 3 miles into the water, that forms part of the natural bay that Elderthorn uses. So you're in for a long journey in the boat, maybe 2 days, but you feel confident that you can get the group there.
Yeah, I let the group know that.
All right.
Okay. You start rowing. It's late in the evening, and the water is relatively calm this day. A few hours go by. Eventually, the sun breaks. Keep rowing. It's navigation's not hard. You're keeping the Thornridge Bluffs to your right side, and keeping a good distance from them, just so any waves don't dash you up against the rocks. But progress is still slow and tiresome. You rest partway through this day, taking shifts, I would expect. The bodies are starting to smell a little bit. Evening comes. You keep working. The second day that you're on the water, as the sun rises behind you and finally crests over the pinwood upon the bluffs themselves, lower in elevation where you are now, you see off ahead of you white sails, indicating a ship of some kind. You've just turned into the bay of Elderthorn. I'd like a perception check from everyone, please. Okay. Aeolus, Hilarest, and Dunnan. Three of you see the same ship that was being unloaded a few days prior when you were in town investigating Lander's death, has set sail again. And it's coming out of Elderthorn and coming out of the bay at the time that you spot it. It's drawing closer. It's probably gonna pass relatively close to you, be able to spot you. Are you making any attempt to hide your approach?
Elrast says yes.
I will follow with what the group says.
Lemmon's ready to say hi.
I will take my other sigh as I'm destroying another tent. But I'll use my tent to use the canvas to cover up the bodies in the boat.
Oh,
As
I am.
Yeah.
Aeolus is sitting on the other.
Yeah. I will just make it. Well, I will just cover them up so that at least if someone looks in the boat, they don't see us taking two corpses by.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not afraid.
If you're trying to get closer to the cliff coast of the Pinwood and Thornridge Bluffs, I need an athletics check from everybody, please, as you all stirred and you're trying to have this concerted effort to row out of the sailing path of the
I will use
merchant.
enhanced ability on myself again.
Okay.
And I will use bull strength this time
Okay. Advantage.
to help out with this. I love this spell.
All right. 14.
And it's athletics.
Athletics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. About half an hour. You get pretty close to the bluffs themselves. The water's choppy here, as it's butting up against the stone and then being forced back out. Going from here back the rest of the way into the bay does take a significant portion of effort over the course of the remainder of the day, but you do avoid the merchant ship. You suspect they probably saw you, but they're not close enough to interact with you in any potential way. You all pull in, so to speak, to Elderthorn about 5-6 p.m. on this day. You would have been here a few hours early if it wasn't for the earlier, if you hadn't moved closer to the shore, but people might have looked into the boat at that point. just to make sure y'all didn't need rescuing or anything.
As fun as that was, I'm glad we are back on the land. I prefer some ground under my feet.
I need a Constitution save from everyone also, please.
Yep, that checks out.
Yep.
Oh, I rolled as a wolf for some reason, but that is my con save.
So Willum and Aeolus, after this exertion over the last 2 days, two of you do have a level of exhaustion until you long rest.
So where to now? Straight to Blackburn Keep?
Well, as you're pulling in, there's you're definitely getting some attention from people that are working at the docks at the moment. Which docks would you have gone towards, by the way? Let me give you guys the map. So there's the docks at the Tanner's Port. You came in from the eastern edge. So the closest docks are the Sea Dock Ward, where the merchant ships set up. There's also the South Ward and the Tanner's Port. So you have all of those options.
Whichever one is the least busy and the least likely to say, "What the hell are you doing?"
That would be the Tanner's
Probably
Port.
Tanner's Port.
Yeah, it is most assuredly the Tanner's Port. Tanner's Port reeks. It is one of the few areas of Elderthorn that gets a bit of a breeze, and being on the far side of the Choral Run, closer to the water, the smell of the tanners doesn't really pollute too much of the rest of the air of Elderthorn.
Vic, they won't smell the bodies.
Perfect place to hide the bodies.
So as you're pulling into the Tanner's Port, a halfling woman sees the group of you coming in, and she throws a line over to the boat. She's got one milky white eye. Name spelling. And she, hey,
Hey,
what
you
brings
there.
y'all in? We weren't waiting on anything. You don't have
You
anything.
there. Go fetch Stormsurge right now. Tell him the bloody Meadows are back.
I got business to do.
Yeah, I
Who
think
are
we
all
can
you?
do
Who are you to
ourselves.
be telling me what to do?
It's all right for him. Dunnan hasn't been here long. But what's the docking fee?
When are you when are you taking it back?
I look over at Aeolus. When do you think?
I mean, would you like a longboat? Could you use one?
Yeah, probably. Why, you not want it?
We don't have any use for it, do we?
Not unless we want to go back there, but
Alright, well,
I don't see why.
I'll let you dock here if we can have the boat. That sounds like a fair deal to me.
All right, sounds good. I hold out my hand to Prim and to finish the deal.
She squeezes it with a surprising amount of strength, for one such of her size, as she sort of pulls you up out of the boat onto the planks of the dock themselves. Don't forget your tarp there.
Sure. And I take it out behind me.
And you're gonna drag both of them now straight through the whole town? Is that the plan?
I strongly suggest the group of us stay here while a couple go right to Blackburn and bring out Stormsurge.
Yes. That's what I was intending.
All right, I think I can wait here. Why don't you-
Ellerast will wait.
and,
I'll wait here too. I'm not a member of the Blackburn.
and
You
why
should
don't
go,
you go
Aeolus.
ahead, Aeolus?
Well, then I'll go then.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Well,
Aeolus, you go to collect Stormsurge?
Yep.
Okay.
you need me to come with you, Aeolus? I figured at least one of us should stay.
Oh no,
Okay.
I'll handle it.
As you're hurrying through the town, you get a few looks at people that are finishing up their business for the day. No one accosts you in any type of way, though. As you get into Blackburn Keep, you see some of the new recruits are working on training different formations, and their RVer is sort of twisting the shields that they're holding, so that way they can properly set a correct phalanx. Sees you, lifts his chin in acknowledgement, goes back to correcting the recruits.
I'm gonna walk over to Arvir.
Yes. What the... Where you been? You've gone 4 days now.
Went on a trip. Do you know where Stormsurge is?
Inside. I think, preparing a meal or eating meal? Not sure.
I found those responsible for setting my house on fire.
Oh, it's good. Yes. Where are they? We hold
Been
trial.
disposed of.
Oh,
Yeah.
we don't hold trial?
There is no trial to be held.
Right. He's in there. Gestures towards the meeting hall.
I
Go
will
ahead.
thank him, salute, and make my way.
You get into the main meeting hall of the Blackburn Watch, and there's a flurry of activity happening in here. There's maybe 24 different members of the Watch, not avowed, mostly recruits, that are out and about, very busy. It's a lot of people right now, but they're milling about. Some of them are discussing various things. You don't pay too much mind. You see Stormsurge, Captain Stormsurge is at the end of one of the long tables, having an in-depth conversation with someone whom you don't recognize, dressed as a member of Blackburn Watch, but not someone that you recognize immediately at first glance. As you approach, he sort of looks up. Hey, how are you doing? So we weren't quite able to salvage most of your home. I'm sorry.
Aeolus will look around to see if there's anyone else besides the captain and the individual that he was talking to within close earshot.
There's a bunch of people within 10 feet of you.
Okay. Aeolus will walk closer. We've found those who were responsible for my home and for Lander.
And okay.
We have them at the Tanner port. They did not make it.
Got it. Sort of looks around, gives a whistle, and the din of the room quiets almost immediately. Points at some people. You, and you, with me. As he selects the small company of people to accompany him. Says, "Excuse me, Connell, we'll have to speak later." As the elfin individual with whom he's speaking sort of nods. Very well. Not to worry. Deal with what you need to. Connell sort of nods for a moment and goes back to their meal. Looks like some type of salad that they're eating. And Stormsurge and the contingent of 4 others sort of stand up, ready. Lead the way.
Of course. And I will lead them through the town as nonchalantly as possible.
You're drawing more looks now, but people know better than to intrude on him when he's walking about on business.
And completely covered in half-elf blood.
Well, you're covered, not you, Stormsurge. People know
Yeah.
better than to mess with him. You lead these 5 members of the watch through the town, past the faded gate, and along the edges of a few farmers' fields until you reach the Tanner Port. Did you guys stay at the Tanner Port, or did you move away from it a little bit?
We probably would have moved out of the way to just get out of the way of business.
Gotcha. Okay. So
Just
on the
not-
outskirts of the Tanner's Port.
Yeah, not right at the dock where there are probably people going back and forth.
Makes sense. Okay.
It's still close enough that the smell of the bodies didn't really
All right.
raise any eyebrows.
That sounds good. About 100 feet away from the docks.
Yeah.
As the 4 of you, while Aeolus has been gone, doing anything else? We're just waiting for Aeolus to come back.
I would just get I know I collected the ritual weapons and stuff. Just get that ready to show to whoever's coming.
Okay.
Like what we suspect is the murder weapon for Lander.
The filleting knife. Pardon me, filleting knives.
Just get that ready to explain.
Okay.
But I will keep the gem hidden for now.
Okay. Noted. All right.
I'll get the flaying knife and the child's heart and the salt out.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a Stormsurge comes up, see his cloak sort of billows a little bit. Very grandiose show of force with the 4 other members of the watch flanking him, 2 on either side, following Aeolus. Welcome back, all of you. I was worried when you all rushed off into the Pinwood. You managed quite well for yourselves. Sort of looks at the canvas remains of your second tent on the ground. Siegfried and just lifts up the edge. Is this them? Why is one missing an arm?
I'll took that. We weren't sure if it would be possible to bring both bodies, so I just hacked off one's arm to show you some proof.
Desecration of a corpse.
Well,
That's
they
not good.
did not have any honor, so
I'm messing with you, Devin.
all right, Captain.
Captain, I believe this was the murder weapon, and I hand him over the flaying knife.
This was used to cut Lander.
I believe so.
Sort of lets out a long whistle. I mean, this would do it. Where did you find these 2?
I wait for Aeolus to start.
Yeah, I look at the Olus.
Yeah.
It's your report.
Off in the Pinwood, towards the bluffs, we found a cave with a bunch of supplies and various materials on sacrificing.
Do you think Lander
Show
was a
him.
sacrifice?
I show him. We found a child's heart, and I show him the little package I had. It was encased in salt. I think they may have used the same knife to carve it out.
Sort of looks at it. We haven't had any children be killed here. At least not recent. Yeah, and some die young, but not
There-
recently.
There been a lot of people gone missing as of late.
No, I mean there was the two miners, a little bit over a 10-day ago. The group of you found what happened to them.
Yeah, but that
Um,
was westwards.
But
It
also
was
this
far off.
Yeah,
this heart was encased in salt. It's gonna be difficult to determine how long it's been there.
that's a good point.
Do you know if any of the local tribes have had a child gone missing? The orcs in the area.
Not that I know of. We haven't had very positive dealings with any of them recently. There's a few wandering tribes that don't really like us, and we don't really like them. We just sort of coexist. It's tense, but they're more likely to have someone go missing than we are, I think. But it's a tough call. I wouldn't know how to check with them either.
Maybe that's something we'll have to follow up on.
He sort of looks back. A child's heart, though? That's morose.
It's dark.
Do we know of anyone in Elderthorn or maybe outside that was expecting?
Few ladies in town. Try not to ask. Got slapped once when I made an assumption. But I mean, a few people I've seen through Mark and March. Definitely, but not sure when. I could try asking around, or no, I'll have Arvio ask around.
I can ask.
But
Um,
it usually anything like stuff like that gets brought up. We have a number of healers, not amongst your hierarchy, under Conal actually, who I was speaking with previously. Whenever anyone is getting close, we usually have someone help, be on hand for healing magics and the like.
Perhaps I can coordinate with Connell. I've helped her with healing things before. I turned ALS. She taught me many of the things I do now.
Conal's a guy.
Yeah, yep, sorry.
it sounds like a plan. Is the mayor and her daughter home? I would like to report to them personally about what we found.
They should be. I haven't seen her in a few days. They've been staying shut in, I think. But yeah,
How is the mayor?
I mean, last I saw her, she was fine. She was concerned about your home. She expressed sympathy, and she asked me to let her know if there's anything she could do to help.
Can I inside check Stormsurge?
Sure.
I want to know if he's sincere or if he's trying to hide something.
Yeah,
Sure.
I would like to do the same.
Alright, and Siegfried? Okay. Siegfried, I'm gonna drag it down to Whisper. He seems like he's being honest and straightforward about it. He seems confused as to Aeolus's sudden interest, and he's a little off-put by that, but that's about it.
Okay.
Make sure you have lots of witnesses around.
Yeah, I'll just as I do the insight check on Stormsurge, I'll just blurt out to we probably should stop by Lander's parents, right, Dunnan?
Yeah, we
You
have
have
to
to
bring
tell
them
her- yeah.
bad news. I mean, what we found.
I think they'll probably be glad. You said this was deep in the Pinwood, though?
2 days travel. Westwards. Eastwards, sorry. I'm always mixing up directions.
Yeah, I think if anyone else went, not to toot my own horn, Captain, but I think if anyone else went after them, it would have been bad.
I'm confused on something, though. So, how did they kill Lander out in the Pinwood, and then him be in the Cathedral Square?
I mean, that's...
I don't think they killed him out in the Pinwood.
You said you found this tool out there, or they had it on them?
They were doing a ritual using these tools. They did bring them there. I don't know the timeline, though.
Okay.
And that child's heart was involved in the ritual.
And that was in this cave?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sort of has his brow
to be
furrowed.
honest, Captain, I'm unsure if they are not performing some rituals. There is some dark shit going on in your town, I'm sorry to say. But dissolving corpses, like what we found that dwarf. What was her name? In that chest?
Bat.
Bat.
Yeah. And this creature we found in the Pinwood, and something's going on here.
Yeah, that was one thing we brought up. If someone was trying to hide a ritual like this, I think Bat would be the first one to take out, no?
It makes sense. She was one of the more gifted arcane practitioners in town.
Do you know if anything was stolen from her room?
Gonna be honest, I'm not the right person to ask about it. It's all draconic to me. I really don't get it.
Well, yes, as you see, Captain, there's still a lot of questions unanswered.
I mean,
Honestly,
it feels like he answered one question and raised 3 others.
And I mean, didn't seem like it was just 2 of them. There were supplies and a longboat. I mean, it wasn't a 2-man operation.
Okay. Sort of looks at the groups behind him. Say nothing of this to your families until we make any announcements. You 2, bodies back to the keep. You go let the Goldworthies know.
You can have this one too, and toss the hand. I'm probably not gonna need it anymore.
I would like to keep the hand.
You do what? For what?
Just to see if I can get anything else from it before turning it over to the watch.
Yeah, sure.
If that's
I just shrug. Oh,
That's
give him
fine.
the hand.
Just I'm gonna keep the bodies together. Just come by and it'll be at the keep if you want to take a look at it. Does that sound good?
Yes, thank you.
All right. You 2 wrap these up again. We'll get you. Is this a tent?
It's
Yeah,
his
this is my
second or
second
third.
one. Second.
Okay. Wrap them up in this and take him in. He just sort of starts giving out orders. And then you stick with us. You said you wanted to go check on the mayor?
I would like to.
All right, let's go.
I believe the group wants to report to Lander's family.
He just issued that order to one of the other members of the watch to go
Okay.
go have them
Okay.
brought to the
yeah.
keep.
I mean, Aeolus, I'm following you wherever you go, right?
Let's go then.
All right.
I think I'll come too. Is that okay?
Yes, Willem, but you don't want to check on the numbers?
I guess we do have some more money. I could. Oh, I have some shopping to do. Thanks for reminding me. Bye. And go running off.
And I
Willem.
say, Helirest, maybe you and Dunnan can go speak to your cousin, Gogrun, maybe find some news on the Orc tribes?
Yeah. That sounds like what I was thinking.
Sure, why not? And then pay a visit to Leofric and Maud. Tell them what we found.
Be careful, Willem, okay?
You don't even get a wave.
He's gone.
Flat out running.
Oh my god, that kid's, he's gonna
All right.
swear.
He's a massive headache.
So Stormsurge just nods. All right, just the four of us. And he walks through town with two of you and the one member of the watch that still remains that he hasn't assigned a job to. Group, you come up to the mayor's manor house on the northeastern edge of Elderthorn. There's lights on inside. Stormsurge goes up, knocks on the door. Knocks again. No answer.
Is this like, do they usually not answer?
No, usually Froen or Tadell herself will answer. They don't have any help anymore. They used to have some people, but no, it's been like this the last few days. I mean, some of the lights changed, but that's it.
So, what's the protocol here? Should we peek inside or just come back later?
Do you think they're in danger?
I think the mayor's daughter is in danger.
All right. You see Stormsurge take a metal rod from his belt and sort of spin it in his hand for a moment, and it extends to about 4 feet in length, and one end of it starts glowing incredibly brightly, like a small lantern almost, of intense light. As this looks like a large mace head almost, is glowing. Sort of, I'm not paying for this door. He swings the mace heavily, and there's a shattering, cracking sound against all of your eardrums as the thunderous hit cracks into the door, and there's the splintering of hinges. And the door swings inwards about a foot and then falls outwards as it was knocked off of its hinges.
Well, like, whoever's here should know we're here now. Is there anyone yelling or exclaiming why their door got blown up?
There's not at the moment. The space here is quite cozy. There's paintings along some of the walls of looks like various family members and landscapes. There's a comfortable warm atmosphere here. Looks like magical lanterns are providing a soft orangish yellow light at intervals along the corridor. Steps leading up made out of dark wood. And the entryway hallway terminates at the end into what appears to be like a large sitting room. Which the group of you know there's a library within said sitting room. I think Nara's rooms are upstairs. Tadell, sorry about the door. Aeolus did it.
Yep, yes I did.
You there?
As Aeolus makes his way upstairs, he's gonna call out, Nara!
You hear a voice from behind you, Stormsurge, gesturing to the other member of the watch. You go with him, Siegfried. Let's take a look around downstairs.
Sure. I would like. Well, I'll go. Seeing as we don't really see anything out of sorts yet, I would like to go back into wolf form and see if I can find anything via spell.
Sure. It's always disconcerting when you do that. Go ahead and give me a perception check with advantage.
Cool.
Siegfried. Be
Sieg-
careful.
And I just nod with my wolf head, and go back to smelling.
Tadell, Rohan.
22.
Okay, coming out in a sec. So Aeolus, you go up the stairs, and follow behind you. You hear footsteps. It's the other member of the watch that sort of catches up with you. It's a half-elven man. Sort of looks young. Maybe about a half a year into his first year with Blackburn. Sort of. What are we looking for?
Just stay behind me.
Okay. I got it, sir. Has his hand on his spear, and you can see his knuckles are white. I didn't expect we'd be breaking in somewhere. At least of which the mayor's house.
Just relax. There's no. Take your hand off of the spear. Never white knuckle the weapon. You lose mobility and power that way.
Okay. Sort of forces his hands to relax a little bit. Takes his second hand off the spear, so he just has the one. All right. Give me an investigation check, Aeolus.
At disadvantage.
Nice.
Son of a bitch.
Upper level. There's a number of rooms along it. The room at the end of the corridor, there's a chair outside. It's on the left-hand side at the end of the corridor, such that it would be probably a front-facing window for any rooms on the far side of the door. And there's a chair outside and a stack of books next to the chair. You suspect this is probably Nara's room, based on your knowledge that Lander spent time here reading to her.
All right. I will walk over and I will stop for a moment.
And you walk over.
Knock on the door.
Excuse me. Knocking. Hello. There's a very meek voice coming from within. Who's there? Mother?
Nara,
Yes?
my name is Aeolus. I'm from the Blackburn Watch.
Okay.
I have a few questions for you. How long has it been since you've spoken to your mother or to T-Dance?
A while. I'm not sure. What day is it?
Honestly, I don't know myself. I've been out for a bit. May I come in? There's a few questions I need to ask you.
Mother wouldn't like it if you did.
I believe that's all right.
Only she and T-Dance see me.
How are you feeling?
Hungry.
Have you eaten at all today?
No?
I will turn to the watch member.
Yeah.
Go grab some food. Probably hasn't eaten since the last time the mayor's been here.
Okay. Runs downstairs. While this is happening, downstairs, Stormsurge and Wolf Siegfried are sniffing about. And then you hear footsteps up above you. What are you specifically searching for, Siegfried?
Seeing if I can find any more of that smell of decay.
Okay.
Not like that odorless, like smell that magic of that was on Bat, or like that weird decay smell, or
Okay.
I mean any sort of, I don't know, anything out of place. That's basically
Yeah.
it. Anything magic related.
Okay, so nothing smells magical
Yeah.
as you're going about. You push through the study, like the sitting room and library, into a dining room, and then loop around through the kitchens. Plenty of smells in there. There is a smell of cool, damp air coming from one of the pantries.
Yeah, I would try and if I can't open it as a wolf form, revert back to Goliath
Okay.
form.
You cannot as wolf, so
Yeah.
change back
So
form.
I'll
Stormsurge pops his
change
head in.
that.
Nothing in the dining room.
I smell something behind this cabinet.
Yeah.
Something out of place. Gonna take a look.
You open the cabinet door. There's what appears to be a very cleverly hidden trap door that's currently open. Set in such a way that it would have been hard to notice otherwise. And it descends steps downwards.
Did you know this, Stormsurge?
That's new. I don't do a lot of cooking here, but I don't know, that seems different. Terrible spot for a staircase.
Well, I think we should take a look, no?
Certainly. At this point, the other watch member comes in to the kitchen. I need bread. And cheese. And
I
meats.
toss him a loaf, and I think it's all over here. Pantry's there.
Ah, perfect. Thank you. Sort of reaches past you into the pantry. does not pay attention to the fact that there's an open trapdoor, and grabs like a few different jars, a loaf of bread, one of the sausages that's hanging from the ceiling. Thanks. We found Nara, I think.
Oh, that's good.
She's
Or
hungry. He runs
Yeah,
off.
I will light a produce flame in my hand to get some light, and I will go first down the stairway.
Stormsurge behind you. He lights his mace again.
Mhm.
Long mace. As he descends behind you. He's shutting out Bray Light as well with it. You find yourselves in a root cellar. Quite large. Mostly earthen walls that have been reinforced with strips of wood. And set into the ground of the root cellar. There's no crates or anything like that for storage. There's a burned-in ring about 10 feet in diameter of various sigils into the earth.
Does it match the ring we saw in the pinwood?
Give me an Arcana check, please. Looks at the very least similar. You're not quite sure if it's an exact match, but it's very close.
I would like to pop detect magic to see if it still has power.
All right. This does have the same aura as the thing you found in the pinwood. This that seems to be a permanent circle of teleportation.
Yeah, Siegfried audibly swears. Shit, I need to tell Aeolus.
What? What's this? There's nothing else down here.
Yes. Can I do an insight check on Stormsurge?
Yeah, sure. What are you trying to ascertain, though?
Just to see if he's surprised by this, or if he's just like faking surprise.
Okay. He seems to not even grasp whatever significance this has. He seems surprised that this space has elicited such a reaction from you. He seems genuinely not sure what's going on. So this
I
note
think
as
it
well.
would be better if Aeolus was here for the full story, but in the pinwood, we found a.
I feel like you're leaving something out.
I am, but it's for good reason. Can't. When we were in the pinwood, we found a circle like this. We determined it was a circle of teleportation, but we only found the one end of it, and I believe we just found the second entrance.
And why did the two of you want to come to the mayor's house as soon as you got back? You said Nara was in danger. From what? Where's Tidell?
Captain, if I tell you, this has to stay between us for now. You, me, and Aeolus.
So he just sort of looks at you expectantly.
Siegfried is struggling because he knows he's not sure if Aeolus is going to be happy with him, but it's not like he can hide it anymore. There was one other person in the pinwood when we encountered the half-elves.
Little look of Resignation crosses his face, but he's waiting for you to say it.
When we confronted the two half-elves, we engaged battle. And after a few seconds in, there was a secret entrance in the room we were fighting in, and Mayor Tadell stepped out of it. She seemed to be the one in charge of the two elves. At least it seemed like they were working for her, and from that moment on, she spent every effort trying to kill us. At one point, it even seemed like she was going to sacrifice herself to kill us.
Maybe a persuasion check. He just sort of like sits back upon the stairs down here. Just sort of a gaunt look on his face.
And then also, when we were looking for them in the Pinwood, we ran into the doctor. And something had been done to her. She died in the similar manner as Bet. She decomposed right in front of us, but she was the one who led us to the location in the woods. And then once we killed Tadell, she died in a similar manner. And it seems like they were doing some kind of ritual to bring something through. Some sort of shadowy portal.
I think you're right. I think we should find Aeolus.
And yeah, I'm not gonna make any moves to seem like I'm resisting or trying to escape. Yeah.
Just sort of, looks like he's in a fog at this moment. He just sort of absentmindedly goes back up the steps.
And, wait, I also say before he goes up,
Yeah.
when I tracked the half elves into the Pinwood, there were a third set of tracks. I don't know whose it was. I don't think it was the mayor's. That's why we're trying to keep it hidden.
Got it.
Just be careful if they were able to get to the bed. I don't know.
He just sort of turns and with half nod and continues up the steps. Aeolus. The individual, the member of the watch has sort of rushed back. I got some sausage, some bread, some jams. Your Mr. Siegfried and the captain are in a pantry. I don't know what they're doing, but I got a lot of food. How do we give it to her?
Aeolus will knock on the door. I've brought you food. May I come in?
Okay. That's one moment, please. You hear sort of a dragging sound. And then okay, I'm covered. You may enter.
And Aeolus will open the door and enter the room.
Okay. Inside is a comfortable, well-furnished bedchamber. There's a large, overstuffed bed, within which is sitting a young woman. Very shallow face, sunken cheeks and eyes, high cheekbones. Looks like she's not very well nourished at the moment, but quite comely during normal times. The room itself has a small privy attached to one side of it, quite the luxury. There's dressers, a changing curtain that's sort of tri-folded off to one side, and sitting up in the bed is Nara. Hi. She sort of smiles, her eyes widening. Food would be fantastic. Thank you. As the member of the watch places it all on the bed for her. I'll be right back. I forgot a knife for the jams. Rushes away.
Aeolus will hook to her. Nara,
Mhm.
can you tell me, how have you been the last few months?
I Mother wouldn't want me to say.
I think if you told me, it would help me and my allies get to the bottom of what happened to Lander. My sincerest apologies.
What happened to Lander? He's not been back in a little bit over a 10-day. Is he okay?
Aeolus's eyes just widen. Lander's... he's not okay.
Give me a perception check, Aeolus.
Ah, where's my mouse?
The
There we go.
room is well put together, but the wooden floor has drag marks all over it. Like someone's continuously rearranged furniture. All sort of spider webbing out from around the bed. Like the bed's in the center of all of these drag marks. Is he ill? I told him he needed to stop going into the Pinwood for medicines, that I would be fine.
Nara,
Yes.
were you and Lander excited to start a family?
Yes. Well, we need to be married first, but yes. Sort of tearing up. What's wrong with Lander? Where is he?
Lander is gone.
Shakes her head. No.
And so is T-Dance.
What? What do you...
Nara. This is going to probably earn me a slap in the face. But were you expecting?
Mother said you can't tell anyone.
Did her manner of speaking shift with that?
No. Seems normal. She gets up, the bread and the jam falls to the ground for a moment as the member of the watch returns with a knife. I found a butter knife for the jams. Oh.
Step out of the room.
Sorry, say again?
Aeolus is ordering the watch member to step out of the room.
Oh, okay. He runs over, puts the knife on the bed. I'll be right outside if you need me.
I'm
sort of
gonna
gives you a
grab the knife.
thumbs up, and then it's like a butter knife. Gives you a
Okay.
thumbs up, and then closes the door behind him. Nara gets up out of the bed, seemingly with great effort, comes over to you and steps over to you for a moment, sort of grabs your chest, like your garments. Like, where's Lander? He can't be gone.
Nara,
There's a dragging thud as behind Nara, now dragged out of the bed, you see the source of the scuff marks all over the ground. She's chained to the bed.
Ew.
Nara,
What?
where's your child?
I don't know. Tian said she needed to keep her for observation and make sure that she was well. And Mother said once I got my strength back, I would get to spend some time with her.
Was he of you and Landers?
She sort of nods meekly. Last summer.
That's... Well,
Hmm.
congratulations. But... Here, you need to sit down.
And it sits on the bed.
And can I see, is it is it something that's latched onto her leg that chains her?
Yeah, one of her ankles is shackled. And the chain's not, like, thick and cumbersome. It's maybe not more than a half-inch in diameter, and well made, to the point that it's not, like, difficult for her to move around with it, but, like, you can see that her leg's definitely calloused where the shackle is on.
Okay. I have friends that can move this. I need to tell you something. And it's going to be very difficult to hear. Lander was killed.
No. She's shaking her head.
We found the ones responsible. But upon finding the ones responsible, we found the one who hired them.
Okay. That's good.
Nara, I'm sorry, but your child's not coming back either.
What? She starts sobbing, just not responding to anything else that you're saying.
Aeolus will...
You hear Stormsurge's voice outside as he and Siegfried have come up in search of you. Move out of the way of the door. Aeolus, are you in there?
I am, and Aeolus will
The door opens.
cover up Nara. Like, wrap a blanket around her shoulders. Captain.
Stormsurge looks around the air, sees the chain. What's going on here?
Aeolus will look to Siegfried. and will just eye him.
Siegfried just starts just like shaking his head and basically just trying to give. I told him everything.
Aeolus will see if there's anything close to Nara, like a butter knife or anything else that can be used to hurt herself first.
No, you took the butter knife away.
Okay.
She has bread.
Okay. Aeolus is gonna hover his hand over her shoulder, and he's gonna stop.
Mm-hmm.
Siegfried, can you step in here as Captain and I step out into the hall? I don't think she needs to hear this.
Okay. Is Nara still unconsolable?
Yeah.
I would just sit down next to her on the bed without touching her, and I would just keep her company. I can do that.
All right.
Aeolus.
So Ellis, you step outside with Stormsurge and bring him up to speed on details that the group left out previously.
Yep, and I'm going to hand him the mayor's ring.
So that it looks at. I believe you. This needs to be handled delicately. There's no body, from what you say.
The remains of the body was left at the temple, the sacrificial site that we found. But I agree, she's been through enough.
Okay. I'll take her and our. I want to get reports from all of your friends independently as well.
Captain.
Yes.
You were close with the mayor.
I thought I was.
Did you know about the child?
No. Nara was sick. She stayed in the bedroom. So that way, if anyone else had something, we didn't get her sicker.
I mean,
We told she had a poor constitution.
We need... Alright, so the two that burned down my house?
The elves? Think the mayor had something to do with it too?
For us, yes, but for the public,
just the elves.
They were the ones that killed the mayor.
Okay.
We can't let the rest of Elderthorn know.
I need to speak with my lieutenants. And Grenal.
Let me know if there's anything you need assistance with.
Of course. I'll wrap up here. The bodies should be back at, sort of wipes his brow, Blackburn now, if you wanted to examine them. I'm gonna see what I can do. He gestures at the door for her.
If it's all right, she may still be in danger if there is a third out there. I would like to ask my group if they would be comfortable taking up a watch, making sure no one gets in.
We'll move her into the keep. We'll wait until the sun's fully down and take her over to the keep. That way,
Cap-
this would be the first place anyone would look for her. Yeah. He sort of comes out of his sort of trance where he's just sort of talking to himself. Yes.
For what it's worth, I am sorry.
Me too. This is a series of tragedies. On that note, Hellerast, you and Dunnan are going to Gogrons, correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Correct.
That is correct.
While all of that's happening, you make it to Gogrons. It's probably about an hour until sundown at this point. As the oversized orc is just sort of crouched into his small stool. Looks like he's currently reading a pocket-sized book of some kind, which only accentuates his size more as the two of you walk in. Hello. It's good to see you again. Where have you been?
Oh, going around. Tried to find who lit Aeolus's house on fire. You heard about that, right?
Did. There was a lot of gossip the last few days. So much drama.
What kind of gossip?
People saying they saw kids playing with sparklers, others saying that people had stolen things and were covering their tracks. It's just people saying whatever they think is going to get them the most attention, though.
Yeah, well, there were clues leading away from the fire that led us into the Pinwood.
Oh,
And we had a series of adventures. And I am not at liberty to say anything else at this time. It's not my tale to tell.
very
But
secretive.
But we do need, well, the truth will come out in time, but the proper authorities have to be.
Oh, of course, I won't
But we
pry.
do need to know if you know of anybody who has lost a baby or otherwise been losing, if there are any of the orc communities around here who have been experiencing mysterious disappearances or anything of that nature.
Not nearby. As the weather warms, a lot of the tribes travel further northward into the inland.
Yes.
You
You haven't heard any gossip.
A month's travel to where the nearest one might be this time of year. No, I've not heard much, though. I don't
Okay.
keep in contact. You grew up here, but some of the herds don't like the sedentary lifestyle that we live here. They preferred wandering and nomadic. Been that way as long as they can remember, and why would you change ways when you don't need to?
Sounds good to me. Okay. Hellerast will turn to Dunnan and question him with her face, are we done here?
What? Is it time for ale?
Sure.
Thought I was spacing out.
I've
Okay, then
I've not
Kill a
heard
rat-
of any people missing or expecting children.
good to hear. Then I'm going to talk with my team members before I ask you anything else, except I would like to buy a tent.
Oh,
I owe
of
somebody a
course.
tent.
Over there on those shelves.
Maybe
How
I should
much?
buy one too. You can
Um,
never have enough tents.
I think I have it in the one of the handouts,
Were they 10 silver?
something
Or-
like that. Yeah, Elderthorn. It's in the Elderthorn folder. Gogrun's General Goods. Tent 2-person, 2 gold, 20 silver.
2 gold pieces.
20 silver? Okay. I will buy that. And then
What coin
I
do you-
will also
What coin do you give him?
20 silver.
Okay.
20 silver, and then do you happen to have anything that's more like a tarp or just a very large stack? Maybe about tent shaped, but not used as a tent. Just something.
Yes,
Random.
I have some tarps.
I'll
Mark
buy one
off
tarp.
5 silver. It's a 10-foot by 10-foot tarp.
Sounds good. Then that'll do it. We'll be across the street if you think of anything.
That's good.
Wow, why not?
It's made of wax canvas. It weighs 20 pounds.
We
Okay.
might not carry it with us. That's going to be up to Siegfried whether or not he wants to carry that around instead of his tent. Doesn't seem like we've been using the tent very much. Not sleeping in it for any reason. But he may just want to. We seem to be hauling around a lot of bodies, so I think the tarp would be a
Bodies.
good choice. Body. I'm not saying that to Gogron.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay,
This is just her inner monologue.
got it. Okay.
Danan would buy some rope, some health and rope.
Sounds good.
Just to
Go.
refill. Yeah.
So-
So 10
sounds good.
silver.
Yep. Go ahead and mark that off. Willum, you said you're going shopping.
That's correct. I had a couple things that I had to pick up, if you remember. They
Yep,
should all be done by now.
They are.
And then
Need bacon?
All of the things.
No, I can make that, but I was going to get some bacon too.
All in total. Give me one moment. All right. In total, it's 10 silver each. So 1 gold for each of the things.
Oh, for each one I'm going to pass out is the equivalent of 1 gold?
No,
Or for everything?
no, your thing is 10 silver.
Oh, okay.
Like the whole thing. The pass out things are 2 silver.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Money deducted. I will innocently, not realizing all this drama and interesting stuff is going on, will wander through the rest of the shops buying bacon to bring home to the numbers and or Ma and I. Bunch of bacon to cook for the new fam, etc.
That's good. What coins do you pay with?
Oh, definitely silver. I'm holding my copper for important things. My gold, my platinum pieces are hidden because those goddamn numbers have always tried to take my coins, and I don't trust anybody.
And paying with something like that, you would know. People will talk.
That is fair. Yeah, no, definitely the bulk of my coins are probably in a coin purse tucked inside of my stock or jacket or cup, if you will. Awkward pulling out coins out of my pants, but you know. Stuff happens.
They're nice and warm. That's all that means.
Right.
Okay. So you acquire the things that you had set aside. Drop off your things back at home with the food. Hellerast and Dunnan end up at the Faded Gate.
Give each one of the numbers, by the way, 1 copper piece each. Tell them they need to get their shit together, work harder. Each one of them is independently stupid in some sort of way, and to fix that stuff, at least one of them gets macked and told to do better.
Give all of the numbers inferiority complexes.
Absolutely. Roll those little
Great.
bitches with an iron fist.
Great, fantastic, I love it.
One quick thing.
Yeah.
Would the amber braids still be open when we leave Gogran's goods, or?
They would, yeah.
Okay.
You can hear you can hear Emil currently working. But yeah, Andres is still staffing.
I mean, we don't have to play it out, but Danan would enter a shop and would just leave him with the greatsword and the half plate, and we'll ask him if he could resmith it into a greater axe and adjust the half plate to be more suited for a humanoid like Eolus or Hellerest, so they can use it.
So the half plate's already suited for a humanoid.
Okay.
So like for like someone like Aeolus or Hellerast, easily enough. Like it would need to be resmithed if it was or reforged, adjusted, if it was to be set for like a dwarf or a smaller race.
Okay.
But so he does have a great axe available. And he'll give you 50% of the value of the great sword towards the axe. Let me pull up the weapon chart.
Or would he have?
So great sword is 50 gold, so you get 25 gold credit by turning in a great sword. So you would need to pay 5 gold or 50 silver worth.
Oh, scratch that. Would it be able to get 5 hand axes for the greatsword? I need something to throw.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then he would trade in the greatsword for some hand axes.
Fantastic. Yeah, he'll trade you straight up for that.
And I will offer the half plate to Hellevrest. Say, oh, you could probably use that. It seems to fit you. It's very sturdy. Use my knuckles and
Thanks.
knock on the
Appreciate
half
that.
plate. I mean, the half elf has no more use for it, so.
Yeah, we know that. Sounds good. Thank you, Dunnan.
I'll give her the half plate.
Sorry to jump in, by the way. It's not my time, but while I'm wandering through the shops, is it
Okay.
possible if I can commission a better than normal quality stickle?
Better normal quality what?
Stickle? You know,
Oh, sickle? Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
slicey,
Farm
slicey
implement?
thing.
You can purchase that from Andre. They have a number of sickles available.
Yeah, I just want not a plain one, silvered or
Gotcha. Okay.
high quality.
Yeah, so you'd be willing to put in the order to Emil, but you would need to speak with her sometime tomorrow about what she would have time to make for you.
Okay. Sorry to jump in, fam.
Oh, good. All right. Aeolus and Siegfried. After you conclude some of the business there at the home that once belonged to Tadel and now belongs to Nara, maybe? Where do you go?
I think I need a drink, Aeolus.
I agree. I'm gonna walk over to Nara. Has she calmed down in even the slightest?
No.
Before we separate, I am going to take off one of the kame charms I have from my mother,
Mhm.
and then just press it into Nara's hand, and just give it a reassuring squeeze.
He closes
Before
her
she-
hand around it, but
Yeah, I don't really expect a response, but
she's still pretty racked with
yeah,
sudden grief.
yeah, and I just nod to Stormsurge.
I'll take care of this.
You'll find us at the Fated Gate. We'll be close by.
So the two of you headed to the Fated Gate as well?
Yep.
Okay. Sounds like one after another group you find yourselves at the tavern. So you file into the mead hall. Buka looks at you. Ah, I've been wondering where you've been. I've had a surplus of alcohol and food that hasn't gotten eaten.
A good thing I'm here now. You have
Yeah.
to restock pretty soon, I think.
As long as you can pay.
Oh, trust me, I can pay. And he will produce 10 silver.
Food it is. Drink as well.
First round's on me. And I'll pay a round for all of my companions.
Noted.
Are we all there by now?
Yeah.
So, Willem would be like overflown with excitement. Come, people, come close. Bloody mad dogs, come here. I have presents. Even for you, Dunnan. Sipping my free, whatever, alcoholic beverage I like.
Shirley Temple.
That would be appropriate, to be honest.
Alcoholic. Aeolus is gonna reach over, grab the alcohol away from Willem.
And you'll find that is actually a Roy Rogers. Okay. Because this was your idea first, Dunnan. The first one is you. You are officially a bloody mad dog, and would hand over a military-style patch that would have basically a bloody mad dog on it.
Oh. He takes
I
it
had
with pride and just says, "Hoo.
I had them commissioned for everybody. Well, we have one extra now, but everybody else, I think we need one more. I'll keep that one. But here's one for everybody else."
Oh, great.
You'll also probably notice that I've changed my garb. I am now wearing all black, a robe very similar to what I was describing in the vision, as well as a wide-brimmed black hat, a little bit of silver jewelry with little creatures on it, the ones that we have slain.
Like a
Mad pimpin', huh?
pointed witch's
Mad
hat or
pimpin'.
flat top?
Flat tops, of course.
Flat top white brim. I'm picturing Django's hat.
Yep.
I like the
So-
new style, Willem. Suits you.
Yes. Thank you. I've been having the dreams, and I can't let them
Yep.
bring me down, so I shall embrace them, and all will move forward in a positive way.
Well, your dreams were very, so how to say, interesting. Yeah, and accurate, to say the
Accurate.
least.
Hopefully they will help us save people this time. But
You think there
remember,
will be more?
I hope so, and I hope not.
Mm.
We are adventurers. We must go on adventures. The dreams were harrowing.
Well,
At
I can tell you,
best.
William, the story is not over yet. We have not reached a conclusion to this one. Trust me. We have only dug up the first level of the dirt in this town.
I agree.
Um,
And that is why I have commissioned our patches for the Lady Mad Dogs to make us official. We can't just go through town
You mean like
looking homeless
vigilantes?
and oh yes, and those too. As I say homeless, I was eyeing Denon up and down. But now we can be official.
Mm.
Make sure
Aeolus.
everybody gets the patch on the left shoulder.
Well, I'm not the only one who's homeless now, and I look at the Olas, right?
Aeolus
That's
is
rude.
eyeing Willum.
I'm so sorry. That was insensitive.
I mean, if we are more well known in town, maybe we get a base of operation for
I-
us. I mean, that
I
would be great.
I just pat Aeolus on the shoulder. Well, Aeolus, if you ever need it, you can bunk with me. Just I need to give a heads up to my bunkmate.
Well, there's
I
always family. There's always room on the farm. All we have to do
room
is.
deep. It's fine.
Oh. I was hoping to kick out number 1 or number 2, whatever you wish to refer to her.
Speaking
It's okay.
of which, Puka,
Yeah. She says as she is carrying 4 large glass mugs of ale to one of the tables. What can I get you?
the rooms that you have available, do you have some place to wash up as well?
Yeah, second floor. Cost you 2 copper.
All right, and Aeolus will put down 4 copper on the table. Excuse me, and he'll head upstairs.
Oh, sure.
You find
Well,
a
Siegfried,
small
I know
wash
we
chamber, a large bin, a large trough with lukewarm water, a candle set off to one side such that you could, and a small hearth, set up in such a way that it's drawing some of the heat from the meat hall up through the chamber, that runs along the backside of this trough, so the water stays at a relatively lukewarm temperature all the time. Good enough for washing up.
So Siegfried, while Aeolus is cleaning himself up, did everything go according to plan? I mean, we can't talk freely here, you know.
Yeah, let's find a quiet corner. And you see Siegfried just gulps down the rest of his drink.
Puka, we will be in my room. Could you bring us the food into my room? Appreciate it. I'll slide over 10 more silver.
Helarast is going to follow as far as she needs to and give the tent and the tarp to Siegfried.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
Got you a new tent.
Thank you.
And then here's a tarp if you want to just carry all the bodies we found in that.
Yes, thank you.
So add 10 by 10 tarp. It weighs 20 pounds.
Cool.
It's waxed canvas.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
give me your coat. Clearly, you do not have the skills to sew this patch on.
Siegfried doesn't really wear a coat. He kind of has like a sleeveless vest, but he will hand it over to you, and then instruct everyone to come upstairs.
While y'all are discussing, Willum will contribute, but will be sewing away. On the sleeveless one, it will go on the correct side, but on the chest.
Once we're in the room and the door is closed, and while Aeolus is video, I'll just turn to Dunnan and say it's worse than we expected.
It can even get worse. I find that hard to believe.
Well,
but
at least I'll start with my discovery. I found the other end of the teleportation circle.
let me guess, it was in the mayor's house.
Her root cellar, to be specific.
Oh.
But Aeolus found something even more important. He found Nara
Oh,
chained to the bed by her ankle.
she had what?
She had a chain on her ankle. She was stuck to her bed. It seemed like no one had been able to see her in days. She was quite hungry.
What, like, that's...
But-
No.
But Aeolus, I think, he figured out where the child's heart came from.
Oh god.
You don't tell me her own mother sacrificed her grandchild.
It seems like while Nara was locked away, she gave birth to a child. She was the mother and Lander was the father. And while she was chained to the bed, that child was taken from her at some point. For who knows what.
Terrible.
By Moradin's bloody beard.
But Aeolus had to tell Nara that Lander was dead. She didn't know.
While I might hassle the numbers quite frequently, I would hate to see them come to a fate like that, nor any other child.
Yes,
We must get to the bottom of this.
I felt
I
quite bad
agree.
for the girl. In one moment, she found that her future husband and her child were both gone.
And her mother.
I don't
She
think.
lost 3 people at once. In one.
I'm not sure Aeolus told her about her mother, but I'm sure she'll connect it eventually. Stormsurge was with me,
So he knows too.
at least about the mayor now.
Did he seem surprised?
Yeah, I gave him a good read, and he seemed quite shook, honestly. He didn't know about the teleportation circle, I know that.
Mm.
And he had no idea that Nara may have even been pregnant.
So he seems to be trustworthy for now. I mean,
Yeah.
we need some allies here.
Yeah, we told him for now, at least Aeolus is trying to convince him just to keep everything on the wraps. Just say that Elvis got the mayor too, if anyone asks. But yeah, we don't know who to trust. He's moving Nara to the keep tonight to keep an eye on her, because
Good
she
thinking.
may be another target, you know. But yeah, that's why Aeolus is not in the greatest mood right now.
Why? I still don't get it. Why would somebody go so far to kill an innocent child and take its heart?
Well,
It's
they needed it for something.
just cruel.
They're obviously doing some sort of ritual with it.
The question is, did we prevent the ritual or just prolong the inevitable? I don't know. It just...
Yeah, I'm not sure. This is a bit out of my pay grade. Well, just be aware that you'll probably be requested for interviews from the Watch. Probably handled by Stormsurge himself. Just
Well,
tell him what we saw. Yeah, that's about it.
I mean, we should investigate the mayor's home some more for more clues, but because we
I mean,
have no leads for an hour, do we?
I don't know. I did a good search. The cellar was the only thing I could find, but maybe you might notice something else.
I mean, she must have an office or something. I mean, but
Is that-
met somewhere with her, I don't know,
We
entity
did
or
find
her...
that strange lab in the woods, but we didn't know what to do with it, you know?
There's a knock at your door.
Seemingly goes immediately quiet.
You open the door. You see a unarmored Captain Stormsurge. Sort of looks in.
Captain.
Boca said you were up here.
Yes. Come on in, Captain.
Where is Aeolus?
He's taking a bath. He needed a moment to himself, you know.
Okay.
He needs to wash off this half-elfen blood.
Got it. Okay.
Come in. We were discussing for our next points
Okay.
of the agenda.
I was the Blackburn has selected a new arcanist to be elevated into Bat's position. An elf named Conal. He's a good man. I trust
From
him.
Elderthorn.
Yes, he's local. Young but gifted. So the things that happened tonight, I'm not sure who I can trust at the moment.
To be fair, Captain, we are not sure either. And he done and eyes him a little bit.
My concern is this decomposition thing that seems to be happening to our suspects and some victims, I think. I wouldn't ask you this if there was anyone else. And I ask you all this, include Aeolus too. North of the mining camp, there's an old crone. She goes by the name Matron Toadtooth. Some people call her a little bit of a witch doctor. But
You are not suggesting we go and try and ask her to help us in this endeavor to find out more?
she's the only person around that knows more of Elderthorn's history than anyone here in town.
Witchcraft cannot be trusted.
It's not always the worst, but you have to be skeptical.
She's old, even for an elf, from what I understand. If anyone would have first-hand, as close to first-hand account of things like this happening in the past, it'd be her. I can't make the journey myself. It'd be too conspicuous. I don't trust just assigning one of the lieutenants or Avowed. Can the group of you go and speak with Toadtooth? She's, from what I understand, very knowledgeable about a lot of things. You don't need to convince her to come back or anything like that, just... I don't know.
I'll
Do
look
you
to
know if
Siegfried.
she? Well, I'll ask Stormsurge. Do you know if she likes anything? Like, perhaps we can give her a gift. Make her more amiable. Does she like wine or cheese or anything like that? Something that can only come from Elderthorn?
I'm honestly not sure. I think she eats the wild rodents and birds nearby.
Well, when should we leave? And are you bankrolling this trip?
I'll pay for some travel supplies for you, of course.
Thank you.
This is quiet. Try to, if anyone asks, try to have another reason for why you're headed up to the logging camp.
How long's the travel time up there?
One moment, let me check on that. So, the Lestat camp, as a dragon would fly, is about 15 leagues upriver. Maybe half on top of that travel time. So probably 50, 60 miles. All good, Willum?
I do have one request, Captain, while we are gone.
Yes.
Keep a close eye on Nara. She just lost her baby, her future husband, and her mother. She's fragile, to say the least. I fear she's gonna do something to herself. So, don't
Okay.
leave her unattended, if you will.
I'll keep an eye. Conal's with her now. He's seeing what he can do about the state she was in.
As the new mage, what was his name? Khaled,
Conal.
right?
Conall.
Connell. I wasn't able to figure out how to disable that circle. And on the other side of the circle is the location it all went down. So maybe, I don't know if you can investigate it. It was out of my knowledge.
I'll mention it to him. I know he's more of a healing individual, but some of his underlings might have some expertise on the area as well.
Also, one more question.
Yes.
The mayor's house, it's one of the oldest buildings in town, correct?
Other than, yes, other than All Faith, I believe it is.
And investigating All Faith would kind of be an issue, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's right, Temple of the Faithful.
Yeah.
And it's a very old building. The stone predates the settlement. I think it was here before Elderthorn was.
How old is Elderthorn, by the way? Do we know?
We're pretty sure we're a few hundred years. Maybe 4-ish 100 years old. But we're fairly positive that Mayor's home was probably built in that first century after settlement. There might have been other things built prior to it, but only hers has survived. Well, ours has survived.
If there are any older places in town, maybe search them for teleportation circles.
Sounds good. Well, maybe. Sorry, gotta yawn at the same time. We'll try to suss out any other things.
And then this older woman that we're going to go see.
Matron
Old
Toadtooth.
That hag.
Is
Name her.
is she actually a witch? Is she going to try to curse us just for approaching?
No, we just call her a hag, you know.
No,
Once you hit like 30, you become a hag. Sorry, Kim.
Thanks.
no, I think that's a little bit more of a wives' tale. She's just
Okay.
old and stays away from people. Standoffish. I would be surprised if she used to live in town and it was a younger place in her younger years, but I doubt she's cursing anyone.
Well, we do our best to try and fall on her good side
Mm-hmm.
for the sake of the late Lander. Find out more on what's going on.
How are you holding up, Stormsurge?
I'm trying to stay focused. And sort of purses his lips for a moment. It's not easy. I should get back.
Before you go, right now, who would you say you can trust in the watch?
I trust Arvier. I trust Connell. I trust all the recruits. They're young.
The lieutenants are the worry.
Most. That would be my suspicion.
Well, from here on out, we'll do our best to interact with you only when we have information, but if not, we'll try to get it to Arvier or Connell. Is that acceptable?
Them or Lori.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. She would also be fine. Although she's a bit more eccentric.
I could also perhaps mobilize the numbers. They're not quite as useless as I make them sound.
Well,
You just have to be rough on them to help their growth.
maybe in an emergency, but it's good to know we can rely on them.
Let's leave that to the grown-ups.
Just be careful, Captain.
Watch your back, Captain.
Yeah. Since you're blindsided by this, if they know you know something, you might be next.
Say the least, we have stirred up something.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know if there is payback to be approaching soon.
Be
Yeah.
careful.
I don't know. Sorry. Blusters a little bit, stands up. Good evening. Heads out. Passing the washed up Aeolus in the hallway. Hello. He just keeps going.
Took your time, sweet princess. You cleaned up yourself? Directing at Aeolus.
We leave in the morning.
Where are we going?
To where?
I think to find this matron Toadtooth.
I was out in the hall.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you were listening.
Dropping some eaves.
Well, then you all know about our plan. To visit some old hag who probably does some witchcraft and will enlighten us on what's going on in this godforsaken land.
It's alright. Not all witchcraft is bad, Tannen.
Well, I'll see to that. I'm not convinced, but I'll
Alright.
let her have her magic and we'll see.
I mean, Dun and I literally turned into a wolf.
Yeah,
That's not witchcraft. I don't know.
And I
Yeah, but-
cast bones to figure out what we
I
should
mean,
do.
she has a ghost spider that comes out of her chest, and I'm worried about what
Alright,
exactly is
alright.
witchcraft.
Yeah, what about my shadow chains?
Yes, I mean he's literally saw a vision. He sees visions of pure evil.
But you usually know what witchcraft consists of. A lot of
Anyways, I've
bad
seen you
shit.
do witchy things yourself.
I do.
Just because it's holy. And at
I
that
mean,
point,
I did saw
Willum
you.
would do air quotes.
I did literally a day ago see you run headfirst into a wall, knock yourself out, and then suddenly stand up again. That was
No,
quite extraordinary.
that's just word from Starpanes. Trust me. That's nothing holy about that.
All right.
I just got a sick head and a knock on my head.
As the group of you settle in after a fashion for your long rest in safety. So that means the group of you do get your milestone at this point. So you get another feat.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
Everyone know what they're going with, or
I
I'm
think
gonna have to think about it.
I was going to pick up the keen mind feat.
oh, nice. That's the bonus to intelligence, right?
Yep, and you know which way is north. And,
Right.
When the sun is about to rise and set.
Yeah, like you always know
Yeah.
time, direction, and is it specifically intelligence bonus or is it intelligence? Oh no. Okay, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, and
Oh,
since we're
accurately recall
investigating-
anything you've heard or seen within
Yeah.
the past month. Yeah.
Yeah. It
Considering
would have helped
ask-
helped in that altar, but
Yeah.
a little too early.
considering
Solid.
asking for a feat that I could build on, if that makes sense. Something custom
Well,
that would
you're a charisma
grow.
caster, right?
Yes.
They have a lot. Like I know they're shadow touched and fey touched, which can give
Yep.
you a bonus to charisma and give you a free spell to use as well.
2 free spells.
Yeah, I was looking for something like that, but
Yeah.
maybe tweak slightly.
Yeah, sounds
Cool.
good.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm looking at Warcaster and Shadow Touched. But
Sounds
You
good.
can't have Shadow Touch if I have. No, I'm kidding.
Well, if
we're
there's
best indivisible with liberty and justice for all. No, that could be cool.
what shadow
I
touch?
love feats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Shadow
I'm so
Touch.
excited about
2 of
this.
us.
Yeah.
I believe my keen mind makes my intelligence go to 12 now.
Ooh.
yeah.
You get a modifier now.
That's nice.
Nice.
I'm
I
torn
mean,
between two.
Aren't the new feats for Dragonlance out as well? Would we be able to select
I
among
think those might be campaign specific feats, but I mean that's
Yeah,
up to
they are.
Spencer.
1 sec. Hold on. Let me grab my Dragonlance book.
Because all
That's
the
next
feats
to me.
have to deal with like joining a faction specifically
Yeah,
in the
oh, yeah.
Dragonlance universe.
Not
like-
that I was looking at any of
You
Yeah,
have
those.
a prerequisite, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you have to be like a Knight of Solamnia or one of the Black Cloaks. Or...
Knight of the Rose or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
There's a few that aren't, but yeah. Like they're very designed to be campaign specific.
Yeah, Knight of the Crown, Knight of the Rose, Knight of
Yeah,
the Sword.
Squire of Solamnia, yeah. Or High Mage, Mage of High Sorcery.
What about you, Marcus? By the way, sorry I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
Well, I'm torn between Slasher and Squat Nimbleness, which would give me a +1 to Strength, which would be the max then.
Oh, nice. Wait, Squad Nimbleness gives you the +1 strength?
Yeah, Dex or Strength, and
Oh, okay.
5 more is Speed, Proficiency in Acrobatics or Athletics, and advantage on Strength or at Acrobatics checks to
Escape
make you
grapple.
escape from being grappled. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. And then
Will,
Slashers also a strength bonus.
Bill, you should check out Gift of the Gem Dragon. I think it would work with your build.
Well, look, all of them up right now.
Gift of the Gem Dragon.
I'm just really enjoying like this weird shadow magic slash.
Yeah, I think you can reflavor it, but like the gift of the
So-
gem dragon, you can like
Telekinetic
out-
reprisal. When you take damage
Yeah.
from a creature within 10 feet of you, you can use your reaction to emanate telekinetic energy. The creature that dealt damage to you must make a strength save. Failed save takes 2d8 force damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you. And you get proficiency uses of the reaction. That's pretty cool. That's remarkably useful. Like, you have to be within 10 feet of you, but like that's still solid because that's basically like 2d8 force damage hellish rebukes that don't cost you spell slots.
Yeah, and I think based on Willum's sort of style, it can be reskinned to his shadow magic if you wanted to as well. Not just telekinetic power, you know.
Yeah, I like the direction. I would not have considered that. Thank you.
Very cool. Well, if anyone has any questions over the week or wants to make any like flavor adjustments and stuff like that, always reach out to me too.
All right.
Alrighty, good session.
Yeah, we did a lot in the last 2 sessions.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, they have been great ones.
yeah.
I was feeling really stressed this week. Like we're definitely gonna get ourselves in trouble.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like Stormsurge finding the teleportation circle with you was probably the best possible way it could have worked out.
That's our credo. Get into
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah, I've been having those patches commissioned, by the way, for weeks, and I was so excited. I almost forgot that we could get them back, or I could get them this week. And somebody's like, "The numbers." I'm like, "Holy shit! I've got shopping to do."
yeah. Because you had messaged me that when you guys first got back from the miners job, when you found the missing miners, well, the remains of them.
Yeah.
Well, remains
now
of
we're
one
official.
and like a hand and a foot of another.
Mm-hmm.
But
All right, I'm gonna hop out, but see you next week.
yeah.
Yeah,
See you
I'll
later,
let you
Dylan.
know in a little bit.
See you
Spencer,
next
what I'm
week.
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah,
good.
same.
All right.
Love y'all.
Okay.
Y'all enjoy.
Have a
Have a good
wonderful
week.
one. Bye.